Welcome, everyone. Another edition of Late Night on Base. I'm your host, Bill the Bull, back at it at the studio. I'm back to my bread and butter, which is podcasts. I do live streams. I love it. But there's something really intimate about podcasts. And today I got Matt Bond, my friend. How you doing?
Hi. Good to see you. Haven't seen you in person since
Base camp.
the great camping trip of 25.
That was a really fun trip.
Yeah, man.
I'm glad we got to connect, and now we're here in LA.
Likewise, man. I actually just got back from my bachelor party. And
How was it?
It was amazing. I honestly can't tell if I'm more burnt out from the bachelor party or from base camp. But it's
interesting.
Similar vibes. One of these days we'll hang out.
We will
get
hang
a good
out.
Night's sleep. But
yeah, we'll hang out. But hey, we're hanging
yeah.
out at the studio right now.
Hell yeah, man.
And we're going to talk all about it. So, Matt, let's just dive in. You know, for those that might not know who you are and never seen it, talk to us, man. Who is Matt Bond?
I am a guy who just loves launching creators into cool new emerging markets, helping them get to the future first, and basically putting campaigns and marketing sort of driven projects together that cut through the noise. I am a marketer who hates bad, shitty marketing, and kind of my philosophy on marketing even before Web3 is bad marketing stems from a fundamental disrespect of the consumer.
Yeah.
When you see bad commercial, you're almost they're insulting your intelligence. But my belief is, especially in crypto and when I entered the space, marketing was kind of a 4-letter word, and I kind of set out to do projects and to work with creators on campaigns that didn't feel like marketing, right? Because good marketing is about authenticity and real, genuine, it actually speaks to you, and it should feel like something you would pay for.
Yeah.
So basically, I'm a creative strategist that mainly specializes with creators, but I'd say the through line, most of my work, is stuff that cuts through the noise, that's maybe pushes the boundaries of shit, and ultimately I'm a guy who's diving deep into bass and who's excited to see what the hell is about to happen over the next year.
For sure. No, but prior to the crypto thing, you come from the marketing background, right? In the real world, the normie world, as we call it. Talk to us about when did that start?
Great
This
question.
interest into this marketing.
Yeah. So so even when I was in college, I was actually working. I worked at an agency called Saatchi and Saatchi, which is a pretty big agency. And then I graduated and I went to go work for a small company called Vice. Back when Vice was cool. Back when the word millennial was the scariest word to brands.
Yeah.
Kind of dating myself here. I went to go work for Vice. I was a creative strategist there. And actually, I learned a shit ton about marketing in crypto and marketing in things honestly, a lot of stuff that I think will be relevant to the Zora world soon, which is that, Vice didn't operate like most agencies because they were early to a movement. They had a big community in the kind of cool New York, Brooklyn scene. And I was blown away by the fact that when clients would go to them, every other big agency I'd worked for, clients would give 1 billion revisions and they would kind of push the project till it was a piece of, polished turd. But Vice, because they were on the precipice of this culture, we were able to say to these brands, we're going to do this cool thing and you're going to have to trust us because we know better. And because of that, brands would let us do really cool stuff. We built this amazing project for Intel. It's called the Creator Project, and it was we did really good, interesting, cool work that actually contributed to culture, and that stuck with me my whole career. So I left Vice, went to go launch my first startup. It's called Treble. Okay. It was a creator network. Maybe familiar with the concept, but for the music industry, and I somehow got into Google Creative Labs Design Incubator. And I am not a designer, long story. So built the product through the incubator, and while we were waiting to build it, we were so the whole platform was about connecting the music industry. Yeah. And we were waiting for our app to get built, and we were getting all these signups on our landing page because there was a real problem. And so in the meantime, what we started to do, just insane when I think about it now, is we would clear out the chairs and desks at the Google space on weekends and throw these absolute rager concerts inside of the office where artists can come and connect with each other in person. Interesting. Because we were that's really what this isn't about technology and an app. It's about Like, what are we really doing? We're trying to connect creators, like the right creators at the right time. So if we can't do it yet digitally, we're going to do it in person. We're going to do it with events. And those events really took on a life of their own. They became a pretty big movement. So like ultimately we started to scale them out with them every week. Google actually found out about it and like kind of loved it because we had sponsorships, we were covering, we were making profit off of our marketing. And those meetups became known as Treble Tuesday for years. Like annually, I think we would have around 12 to 15,000 creators that would come out.
Wow.
They would be thrown simultaneously in New York, Chicago, and LA. And it really forged this like this community and this movement that like kind of really like set the culture of like the digital platform. So so ultimately we did that. I ran that for a number of years. It was a digital network. We had the events. We even had artist housing where brands and labels would pay for our top artists to live. But it was all about connecting creators. So I guess long story short, went into Web3, launched a bunch of creators into the space. I had a big campaign where I launched Coachella into Web3. That's probably the thing I was most well known for. And then fast forward to today, as soon as I saw what Zora was doing, it just like spoke to me. Yeah, it was like I dedicated years of my life to building infrastructure to help creators. But there are certain things we just couldn't work around, like just the ability to shift the leverage from a financial standpoint, the ability to like capture the value that you're creating as a creator. And so like immediately it blew my mind. I've been full speed ahead, and like I'm honestly like I've been helping out with a bunch of different projects. I've been kind of like working on my own stuff. I've been experimenting and this and that. But like ultimately, like my end goal with this is like I just want to help push this thing forward in any way I possibly can. And like, it's awesome to be immersed in something where it's like, yeah, the money is cool, but like, I genuinely believe in this vision and the potential of this thing. And I'm just here to try to fucking make it happen.
Absolutely. So you come from the world of marketing. Mm-hmm. First of all, in real life stuff is dope, right? I think
right, dude.
I really like miss like this.
Me too, man. It's so nice to not have to be like, wait, am I speaking? Or are you?
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Yeah. I'm so sick of that. Web3 and I gotta train myself to no longer say that. Crypto is like amazing, but I just wish there was more of this, man.
Yeah. But I think there will be. And by the way, the term is Onchain now.
I like that better.
Onchain.
Because crypto is like not, it's too limited.
Yeah. And it gives things like a bad perception. Like it could perceive like 18-year-olds DJing gambling in the Solana trenches.
True.
Versus like real builders and stuff. So
Onchain, I like that.
Jesse Pollock would definitely tell you that.
Shout out one time.
All right, so you see Zora. So you have this marketing thing, and then Zora comes.
Yes.
Which is probably like, I don't know, April or something.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that you noticed about Zora that you were like, oh fuck, like this is going to be big?
Okay, that's a great question. That's a good question. This guy, it's not his first time. So there's a couple of things that I saw. So first of all, just to be completely superficial, like it was the most frictionless onboarding, right? And like that really matters to us. We always talk about how like, oh, normies need, onboarding to be smoother, and UX. Crypto famously has the worst UX ever of anything in the world. Sure. But for creators, it's that times a million, because it's like creators are emotional decision makers. I'm a creator, so it's like if I'm confused and I'm on this thing and it makes me feel stupid in the first like 10 minutes I'm on it, I'm out. And Zora, it just was like you're in quickly. I love that it's familiar enough to people. I think that really matters because it makes people comfortable. And the other thing, there were two other things that I noticed. One is that, maybe most importantly, there was a whole culture already built into it. There was like inside jokes, and there was like memes, and there was like kind of jargon and signal. And like that is, to me, like was the biggest green flag, was just that every creator movement that ever like became anything, like had that kind of it was a subculture above everything else. Like even Silicon Valley, and it just felt like it wasn't just a place where people were gambling on tokens and like trying to like Ponzi it felt like a place that people wanted to spend their time in.
Yeah.
That stuck out to me immediately. And so there's a bunch of things like that. And then I guess lastly, just to wrap up, just less marketing-y, but like I just immediately thought that the structure of you create your token, you have half the supply, and then you have a vesting schedule, but then you can make money on the commissions. Like that was genius to me in its simplicity. It treats the creator like an actual founder. That's what a founder does.
Vesting terms.
Yeah, and it was the first thing, because when I was in the NFT era, man, like I worked with some pretty big artists, you know, and I pitched a lot of really big artists, and we would get creative and, you know, we'd figure out, but at the end of the day, like 99% of it was just like, no matter where we dressed it up, the business model is like, eventually you got to fuck over your fans who bought into it. And this was the first thing where I was like, oh, this has sustainable like revenue potential. And not only that, but your fans and the people who believe in you can come along on the ride with you for like, it just instantly blew my mind, and I wanted to be a part of it.
No, for sure. I think absolutely everything you're saying is true, and especially with the fee aspect too. Like I feel like a creator doesn't need to fuck over their fans.
Yeah,
because you could just, the fees are very, very good. Which 2021 they didn't have that type of structure. 2025 they do. So I absolutely agree with you. All right, so you see this thing, you're like, this is great. Now, one thing I've noticed about you is you're an excellent writer. Excellent writer.
Thank you.
You started writing a bunch of articles. What was the idea of being like, okay, Zora's here, I want to write about it? Talk to me about the articles and what you're trying to.
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, like that's, I'm a writer. Like I've been a writer my whole life. That's just kind of like something that I have.
With ChatGPT or no?
Well, no. If I my whole life with ChatGPT, then that would be impressive. No, although let's talk about that in a second. But no, I mean, I think that we'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, I mean, I have to write. So like, I've been writing my whole life, even when I like don't publish it. It's just like
therapeutic.
Yeah, exactly. It's how it helps me process my own thoughts.
For sure.
I'm like one of those guys. So I'd been writing a monthly column for Myosin, which is where I work. You know, like in the crypto space. Myosin is an awesome, one of the top like crypto marketing agencies in the space. And I've been writing a column for them for a while. And they give me pretty much the leeway to write about whatever I want. And the day after I like first discovered Zora, I just cranked out that first article, the one about why Zora has cracked the creator coin model. And I sent it to them, and I'd just published my monthly column. So I was kind of good, and I reached out and I was like, I want this out. Like, we need to put this out. And like, it was like, I wanted everyone to know how I felt. So I put it out, and then it got some movement, like, and actually Jacob found it somehow and started retweeting it and quote tweeting it. Wow. So all of a sudden my like creator coin, which was like a 3K, moved to like a 25K, which to me, I was like, whoa, that's like a number. And so I just kept writing, and then also it was like, all right, I may as well figure out what to do with this creator coin, and started experimenting, trying stuff, and and having fun with it.
So as a creator yourself with a coin, what excites you about the possibilities of Zora for what you can do and what you can deliver to your fans and what fans could?
Yeah, man, there's a lot of answers to that, and I think what I'm gonna kind of the way I'm gonna answer it is this. What excites me the most is that I feel like right now Zora has this awesome culture that embraces experimentation. Yeah. So, like, for example, I've been putting out these like ridiculous AI songs for a while.
Pretty catchy.
Thank you. I weirdly pretty proud of them, and very much think it is hilarious how over the top the traction's getting. But anyway, so but yeah, that is not something I planned out doing. It was like, because there's like this culture where it's like I tried a bunch of other stuff. Some of it people didn't work, and like it's not, outside creators are kind of, I hear all the time are like, I'm afraid to launch a token because what if it goes down?
Yeah.
And what I always tell them is if you just say from the jump, if you're transparent and you're like, I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but I'm going to try stuff and figure it out.
That, yeah.
People kind of bake that in. Like no one yells at you if your token goes down. So it gave me the ability to try stuff. And then with the songs, like that started to pop. So I was like, all right, I'll keep doing that. And then I'm having a call with someone today about it, who's a music guy, about like, well, what if I could like figure out a way to put those on Spotify or on DSPs and then give like my top holders essentially like a split on the royalties and whatever. But it's just like, will it work? Maybe, like could not. But like what I love about Zora as a creator is that that's the culture, and that if you want to, you can be kind of fearless. You could build in public. You could try stuff, and like everyone's kind of trying stuff. Like I can't wait to try house, and like I'm not sure what my auction will be, but like I know that I could do that, and people are gonna be like are gonna support that. I'm doing a thing that's trying to push the thing.
I think that comes with like a novel platform that's new. Everyone realizes it's new, so you're truly in the beginning stages. So people expect and understand. No one has this thing figured out.
100%. People value. It's like right now, people participation over perfection.
Exactly.
That's what it is. Well, the people who are so worried about making sure that they're like doing the right plan. Like, I'm all for planning. I'm a strategist and all that, but like. No, you got to just go. Yeah. You got to go in it because people want to see that you're in it, that you're trying to, like nobody knows. So and I also think in order for Zora to hit its potential, it needs to be continue to be attractive to outside creators. And to me, like while we're figuring out what all those sustainable business models are, what will be attractive is a culture of like experimentation and like a fuck it culture of just like, yo, come in, it's fine. No one's gonna yell at you for your token going down. Just try some shit.
Exactly.
Like that is actually the more we all do that, the more outside creators are gonna be like, this is pretty dope. I kind of want to like hop in the mix, as opposed to like what they're saying now, which is like, oh fuck, I can't launch my token because what if it goes down?
No, yeah, this is a place where first time where it feels like they value experimentation. Like those that just try, the market loves.
Yeah.
But like the ones that are just stagnant that aren't willing to try, then that's going to be looked down upon. So this is like a culture of like, hey, creatives, come here, experiment. We welcome all sorts of ideas.
You're the king of that, dude. For real. Like that's one of the reasons I think you've done so well is because like when you came in, like people forget it wasn't that long ago. Like there were some like way bigger streamers than you, but you quickly like emerged because I think a big reason for that is you separate yourself by having that kind of mentality.
Yeah, well, I do like to build in public, and I'm a very creative man. I like to just try shit.
Yeah,
and so that's why I feel like I resonate with people because I'm public and I'm trying shit. Will it work? I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
but I'm trying.
But it's like your market here is other builders, and other builders respect that. Because
for sure,
even if they're not doing it, like deep down, everyone kind of sees that and they're like, "Fuck, I wish I had the balls to operate like that."
Yeah, for sure. So, I think, and I know you have that too. So let's talk about some of the projects that you're working on. So like,
let's do it.
You love Zora. You're embedded in it. You're a crazy good trader. You make AI videos, but you're also trying new shit. So talk to me about this new project with Limmy that you're doing.
Yeah, man. So I'm excited about this. So it's called Orbsmith.
Okay.
It is essentially like the first Zora native growth agency for creator capital markets.
So explain it like I'm a 5-year-old.
Yeah, I was gonna say, let me not sound like a crypto guy for a second. Yeah. So basically, like here's the rundown. So right now, I feel like one of the big challenges in Zora is that you look at the market, right? Look at the top 10 coins or whatever. One of the things that kind of connects them all is the creators behind them have figured out like a really interesting kind of economy or a thesis behind it. They're like mixing it up in the scene. They like kind of understand, they've essentially figured out a way to take what their value is and their relationship to their fans and kind of product market fit into how do we take the rails of Zora and make it, and so like you look at propaganda, Docker, whatever, all of them have the same that sort of commonality. Then you look at like there are some incredible creators on this. Some of my favorite people, I don't want to call them out, but like some of my favorite creators in the world that are sitting at like 50, 40, 30,
Sure.
30K market cap. Why? Because they launched, their token exploded. They got tons of hype. Maybe they posted 1 or 2 pictures, and then it died down.
For sure.
And then a couple days later, they're like, so what do I do now? Right? They're like, they feel like they've been dropped into like a foreign country where they don't know the language, and they're like, I don't like, what is my next step? How do I even think about what my next step is? Then outside of Zora, there's like endless, incredible, brilliant visionary creators that, in my opinion, like have the potential to expand like the possibilities of what this infrastructure could be, but they don't know what Zora is, and they have no idea how to even think about it. And most importantly, they're not inspired by it, right? So ultimately, what Orbsmith is and what I want to be setting out to do is we partner with those creators at an early stage, either like they've just launched, maybe they've like taken a dive, or for the most part, like they are pre-launch and they might not even know what Zora is before they meet with us. And our job is, number one, to convince them and excite them about this thing, right? Like we're not working with any creators that aren't like hyped on this, because you can smell that. And then secondly, we are a seed fund, so we provide funding and capital basically to craft and like realize the visions that we ultimately come up with, right? We're seeing a lot of funds, and I love all of them, and I think it's important, but like there really isn't anybody who's offering seed funding, like idea stage pre-launch.
For sure.
And so because it's not as easy for return. And so we provide that, and obviously selectively. And then third, and most importantly, is we provide marketing support and advisory. So my background in marketing and in campaigns, like I can apply that because I am in a unique position where I have a track record in that world, and I'm deep in the culture here. So like we sit with these, and we're having some fascinating meetings with some of my favorite creators in the space, where we're basically working through like, okay, what's the vision? What's something? And by the way, like there are lots of good ideas, but like, what's the one that you're going to actually be excited about in 2 months? And not just like dip out on. And then basically helping them be like, okay, here's your content calendar. Here's how we're going to approach partnerships. Little things like, hey, we're going to give you like some of this money, the capital. We're going to send to your wallet so that you could start buying and interacting with other creators like you, so that other people can see that you're in it for the long. So just essentially, in short, Orbsmith is about taking the creators that we love and using smart marketing, smart like culture hacking and funds to help them realize the actual potential they have, right?
Yeah.
And the goal is that over time, if it's anything like kind of some of my past work, we'll develop a really kind of diverse portfolio of all these creators that are approaching it in different ways. And then creators in and outside of Zora can look at that and be inspired and be like, wow, I didn't realize there were so many different ways I could use this Zora infrastructure. And it'll kind of hopefully push the culture to challenge themselves to like figure out what the right, to do what we were saying earlier, to experiment more, to try things and figure out like, what's the right way to use, what's their product market fit in this
For sure. Well, I think what you guys are building, this is like my first time really analyzing it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating. It's brilliant. And I'll tell you why. For people like me and you, we understand this land. We're in the trenches. We know it. But we're the minority, man. We are very much the minority. The majority of people coming into Zora, they won't even know where to begin, bro. Mm-hmm. They won't even know what's available. They need guidance. They need to know how to do things, like what's the best methods. And so having a firm like you guys, you're like their mentors in a way, like you're the guiding light. And so it's like, if I'm a new creator and I'm serious about it, and you seed fund or you raise capital or you give capital, like whatever the budget is, it's worth it to have someone to help you along the way. Plus, you have built-in distribution.
Yeah, exactly.
Through your network.
Exactly, and it's ultimately, I hate to use the word flywheel, but there's the marketing flywheel, and then there's also just like the very fact that like as a fund, and this is part of the reason why we're funding this these creators to begin with. But what I've noticed as a trader is the more success I have, the easier it is to be successful because the more gravity my trades start to have.
Yeah.
And so like it's just another kind of distribution in a sense, where the fund will do well because we're going to be able to get ROI beyond just the dollars we put in, because ultimately we're pairing that with like marketing rocket fuel. So yeah, anyway, I think that I'm excited about it, and it also just feels like the thing that I'm gonna want to do today. I'm gonna want to do in 6 months, and it's where I
feeling your
provide.
passion.
So so we have a bunch of cool campaigns coming up that I've been really enjoying working on. But the first one just to kick us off that I just announced about an hour ago is we're working with Kayla from Indexy. He's one of my favorite creators, one of my favorite writers. Like, love the dude, but was a fan of his for a long time. And you know, a lot of people have kind of talked about how it's like this dude's creator coin could be really big if he figures out how to. So that's what we're doing. So we're going to be launching our first campaign with him. It's going to be Zora Week on Indexy, and it's going to bring the Indexy community hopefully into Zora and vice versa. So I'm excited about it, and those are the kind of people that we want to work with.
You should always and he's going to come on my show next Tuesday. So like, utilize me, man, any way I can. I'm happy to. Dude. As part of your network, like, feel free to add them towards me. Like, and I think like, you know, what you're doing is super, super important. I want you to know that. Like, I honestly do think that, because otherwise, if it's just too siloed, only the top people are going to do well. And that's not how Zora will flourish. We need more than just the top 10.
Yeah. Totally.
We need all these people in their communities to be like, damn, I feel like this is working out.
Totally. Yeah, man. And it really like fires up my imagination. Like, we're talking to I'm not sure I could say who yet. I might be able to, but I'm not sure.
Let's err on the side of caution.
Yes,
I don't want you to get fired.
Exactly. Let's just no. But she's a very successful female entrepreneur who like is in the crypto space, and like, to me, like, I feel like if we launch this person right, like with smart marketing infrastructure and essentially doing it right, like, that person could inspire. Like, there is nowhere right now, if you're a woman on Zora, like, there's no, you know, if you're a dude, not to be all like woke, but like, if you're a dude, like, you know, you got like Ebo to look up to, you have Bobby to look up to, like, I'm sure I'm forgetting some woman that I'm gonna get like demolished for right now, but I think there's an opening for that. And so like, it's been fun kind of planning out like what would that look like? Like, how do you take this person who's doing that in her world and bring that into this and communicate that within the bounds of like what we're doing in Zora. So it's cool, man.
Yeah.
I dig it.
I literally could be talking to you for the next hour, but
I know.
Our time is done.
That's my bad, bro.
Dude, Matt, thanks for coming on, bro.
Yeah, likewise, man.
Dude, always a pleasure. Anytime, like I said, LA, you're hitting me up. We're going to plan this a little bit better.
Oh,
dude, we'll run it back.
I'm never trusting Uber ETAs again, man.
Appreciate you, bro.